Good morning, Cobra. Good morning, Winnie. How are you all doing today? It's really nice to see you. You are here first, Cobra. You're the very first one. Here when we're making tones. So let's make a tone that's a little bit higher. Yeah? Can't hold that tone as long yet. We can go even higher. Thank you, Cobra. So, now that we've done a little bit, just a little bit of vocal warm-up, we can start mantras, and we will start, as we do every day, from the book of Deuteronomy. Hi, Jess. How are you? Hi, Squatch. Good morning. It is early. We're going to start from the book of Deuteronomy. And the setting is that Moses is traveling with all of the Israelites through the deserts of the Sinai Peninsula. They had just crossed over the Red Sea, carrying all of their belongings with them, and they were homeless and alone in the desert. And they were looking for a land. They were looking for a culture, right? That's the story. It's a myth. It's not actually true. There were no people wandering through the desert, but nonetheless, that is the story, that is the setting that we should hold as we think about the meaning of these words. And the words that Moses says to his people are this. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Hi, Wesneil. How are you? How are you doing today? So 6 words, the most commonly repeated words in Judaism. Shema Yisrael, Asher Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Listen, Israel, Asher, Eloheinu, and Yahweh are one. Of course, I added in the Asherah part. Moses would never speak about Asherah that way, or at least the version of Moses that we have given to us, but there are versions of Moses that would speak about Asherah that way, I'm sure. Asherah, Eloheinu, Yahweh are one. All these gods are one God. It's incomprehensible, right? These are different characters that would have existed in the mythological universe that was ancient Israel. These characters, Moses is insisting that these characters are one. They're actually the same character. 3 in 1. Fancy that. And this is a bit incomprehensible. It's a paradox, like a serpent eating its tail. I'm doing well, ZBX. I'm doing very well. It's a paradox because how can one thing be many things, right? It's a contradiction in terms. But nonetheless, that is the message, right? All is one. So what do we do with the message? Well, next comes a set of instructions. And the instructions sound like this to the people in the desert as they are wandering looking for a home. This is what Moses tells them to do to find themselves. And you shall love, and you shall love. V'ahavta. It's the first word. V'ahavta et anat Elohecha u'v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odeyecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'vitecha v'lechtecha havaderch uv'shachbecha uv'kumeyecha u'kshartam le'ohut al yadechecha v'hayu letotafot b'neineyecha u'chtavtam al mizuzot beitecha Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that very much. Mycology is the study of mushrooms, EBX. And do I believe in God? Do I believe in God, Madrian? Hello, Ishtaris. Nice to see you again. Do I believe in God? I'm not sure. But I can tell you some of the words of God, right? Or maybe they are the words of a series of Levitic priests claiming to be hearing the voice of God. It's difficult to say from where these words came, but we can imagine that they came from a character, right? That they represent an idea of a part of reality. And if we imagine that, well, what would they be telling us? What do the words say? And what do they tell us about God is, that thing that maybe we believe in, or maybe we don't? And they say, you shall love Yahweh Eloheinu with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words that come to you today from God, teach them to your children. And recite them when you are at home and when you are away. Remember, these people, they had no home. These people had no home when they first heard these words. So the story goes. It's a false story, but so the story goes. The people had no home. Recite them when you are at home and when you are away from home. Recite them on the internet. Recite them when you lie down and when you get up, and bind them as a sign upon your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. So, I don't know if I believe in God, but from this, it sounds to me like God is an idea which copies itself. That's what God is, right? Listen, Israel. Yahweh Eloheinu Asher Echad are one. And this idea copies itself. That's an interesting image of God, don't you think? I am on your For You page again. It's true. So, what else can we say about God, about this character that we're being introduced to in this book? God is something people made because they couldn't comprehend or explain things in the world. Yes. Yes, I believe so. Say, Roach. I believe so. I think that there was a people that were homeless, at least proverbially so. Cities had been destroyed, there had been violence, trauma, and there were people, and they were homeless. And they were looking for something, and this idea emerged. Almost a viral God, a self-copying pattern, also seems to pop up in colonialism. Interesting. Well, yes, I believe that this God is deeply and inherently linked to colonialism and supremacy politics, if you will. Yahweh is deeply tied up in supremacy politics. And we know that from the next words in Deuteronomy. Immediately after this thing, say, hey, God is one. I'm the only one. Remember that. Just me. Just Yahweh. I am the only one. Remember that. Remember this and say it over and over and over again until this paradox of a serpent eating its tail ingrains itself on your mind. And once you've done that, here are your next instructions. V'chaya, ki v'chaya Elohecha el ha'aretz asher nisbai lavotecha le'avram le'Yitzchak u'Yaakov letet lach avrim gedolot v'tovot asher lo vanita uvatim mili'im kol tuva asher lo mileta u'rot atzuvim asher lo hasatba ke'arim v'zitim asher no natata ve'alachta v'shavata hishamer lecha pen tishchach et Yahweh asher tishacha mi'eretz Mitzrayim mi'bet avadim. When Yahweh Eloheinu brings you into the land that he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to assign to you manifest destiny, great and flourishing cities that you did not build, houses full of all good things that you did not fill, hewn cisterns that you did not hew, vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant, and you eat your fill. Take heed that you do not forget Yahweh, who freed you from the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. So remember that you are on stolen land. I will see you later, Ishtaras. I was very happy to see you today. Remember that you live on stolen land, right? I am the one God. I will give you this land if you believe in me. And if you do not, I will take it away from you. That is my threat. What a character! What an idea to exist. Yahweh is real and he is coming back. Yahweh is as real as this portrait of him is real. Right? Because this portrait of God has shaped the world. And what are we to do with that? Good morning. Good morning, little mama. Oh, thank you, ZBX. There was another question. What was the other question that I wanted to answer? How do I know that my spirituality is the right way? I don't. There is no right way. Right? Like, God, I'm talking to you about Yahweh, right? Like, do I think that worshiping Yahweh is the right way? Absolutely not. And yet I do every day. Right? And this is the paradox. Right? So how do I know my spirituality is the right way? My spirituality is not the right way. There is no right way. We're all just humans on this planet, existing. Together. Trying to figure it out. What do I think happens when we die? I think we disappear. Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, shelo ashani isha. I repeat the name of Yahweh Eloheinu, who did not make me a woman. Because he didn't. I did. Baruch atah Asher, Anat Malecha Ha'olam, Asher Yitzar et Ha'adam, B'chachama Uvera. Oh. I repeat the name of Asherah Anat, who made me with many openings and cavities. Yes, I believe we disappear. I believe that there is something unique about every human being, a unique personality that does not persist when our bodies go. Right? We have something, we have a unique genetic makeup and a unique pattern. And when our bodies go, that pattern is gone. We can leave behind remnants of it. We can leave behind children. We can leave behind TikTok videos, books, whatever it is we can leave behind. Some portion of the pattern that is us. But the majority of that pattern is gone. And is gone forever and will never be in the world again. And that's the way it is. And we don't need to identify with that pattern if we don't want to. If that impermanence frightens you, you do not need to say that that pattern is you. Hey. Sure. So I don't believe in God. I don't think that's what I've said, Ampharite. That's not what I'm saying. But no, I think that when you die, the pattern that is you is gone, transformed into something else. Our spirit doesn't lurk or go anywhere. No, it does not. Only the pattern remains. Only the patterns that remain. It's not nothing, but it's not you. It's something else, something bigger. I came upon a wedding that old families had contrived, with Bethlehem the bridegroom and Babylon the bride. Oh, great Babylon was trembling, and she stood there naked with me, and Bethlehem inflamed us both like the shy one at some orgy. And when we fell together, all our flesh was like a veil that we had to draw aside to see the serpent eat its tail. Oh, some women wait for Jesus, and some we wait for Cain. So I'll hang upon my altar, and I'll hoist my axe again, and we'll take the one who finds me back to where it all began, back when Jesus was the honeymoon, and Cain was just a man, and we'll read from pleasant Bibles that are bound in blood and skin, that Asherah is gathering all her children back again. Have a wonderful day, ZBX. It was really great to meet you. What was this other question that I need to answer? Fideism. Meanderings. I don't know what fideism is. That sounds like it's a certain branch of Christianity. Would you tell me what fideism is? And I can tell you what I think about it. I may have heard of it, but I'm not quite sure what fideism is. Thank you, Petuli. Thank you so much. Yes, I am trans, Jojo. Indeed. You figured it out. I think that when we die, we're dead, and that's it. Nothing after. Yes, Parallel Ape, basically, right? But, like, obviously, things persist when we die, right? Like, Jesus, we're still talking about him, even though he died a long time ago. Same thing with Moses, same thing with Buddha, right? Like, or maybe they're characters, maybe they never existed, right? And when you die, if you want, you can turn yourself into a character too, right? If you work hard enough in the world, you can have some image of yourself that will persist after you're dead, right? But it's not you, it's an image, right? The image of Jesus lives, the image of Moses lives. The actual men who may or may not have existed, who were those images, they're gone. Their genetic pattern is gone, their thoughts are gone, they're no longer thinking. Sorry, I'm new. Can I tell you a little bit about what I believe? I think I'm trying my best. It's a chaotic world in this live stream, you know? I can only speak in very tiny sound bites, otherwise I will not be understood. And sometimes it's easier just to sing to you. That makes more sense. If you die, there is nothing after. What is the point of spirituality, faith, and religion? Well, there are things that are after. They're just not you, right? Like, life has existed for 3.8 billion years and will exist for another billion years at least, right? And, like, you are alive. You are part of that greater pattern. So when you die, the pattern still exists. And the pattern is you. It's just not you. It's just not only you, you know? It's bigger. It's bigger. I don't know. That's how I see it. Where were we? We were shifting into Sanskrit. We were going to read from the Shivananda chant book, the Kirtan prayers. As a Christian myself, I'm way over the top. Making us look bad. Dial it back a bit. I'm not a Christian, my friend. I'm not a Christian. No, I'm Jewish. I need moderators. You are right. I do need moderators. The doctrine of knowledge that depends on faith or revelation. Yes. Yes, meanderings. Fideism. You're here. Thank you, Salad Pictures. I'm glad you're here. I do have moderators. Fideism. I yes. All right. That is something we should talk about. Meanderings. That is precisely where we should be right now. Okay. Let me go into Sanskrit, and then we can talk about Fideism a little bit. Have I studied Kabbalah? I have studied Kabbalah. We can do Kabbalah later. Gajananam Bhudaganadi Sevitam Kapita Jambupala Sarabhakshitam Umasutam Sakavina Sakarnam Mahamatim Tivya Mayuravahanam Ridasyasinam Surasainanatam Guham Sadanam Saranam Prapadye Yaku Hendutu Sararadavala Yasupravasvarita Yavina Varandamandita Kara Yasvita Padmasana Yabramachuta Sankara Pratrapi Devasata Pujita Samampatu Bhagavati Nihesa Jandyapa Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nisparanchaya Santaya Shishivanandaya Te Namaha Shri Vishnu Devanandaya Te Namaha Om Sarva Mangla Manglaye Shive Savarta Sadike Saranye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Fideism